Hi, welcome to Ramblin' Rose Cottage. My name is Rose, and we're going to do a tour of my garden today. But before we do that, I would like to show you my garlic braids that I made this morning. These are garlic that I harvested from my own garden, and I made them into braids. I have two of them there. Alright, so now let's go look at the garden. I have some new beds this year that I put in, and we'll just go ahead and we'll start at that end where the new beds are. The first big bed right here is all sunflowers. I did this in dedication to Ukraine, that I just dedicated this entire bed to sunflowers, and we have our first sunflower blooming here. And I can't remember the name of it, I'm sorry. It is a new flower for me. I've never grown this particular one, and it's not very tall, but it's very pretty. I have a couple more that are starting to get ready to bloom. Most of these are going to be on the short side because I packed the bed too tightly with sunflowers, but that's okay. In the front here, I have 4 of my Mexican sunflowers growing, and hopefully those will come up after the sunflowers bloom, and then I'll have those for the hummingbirds. Let's go back here to these 2 small beds. This is where I have my zucchini growing, and the white tool that you see there is insect barrier. I'm going to put it back on. It's to keep the squash vine borer off of my plants until they're ready. I have 2 here. These are Ford hook, I think. Or no, gray zucchini, that's what these are. And then we'll swing around here, and these are Cocozelle zucchinis. I have 3. I have received one. I hand pollinated it, and I did get one off of there. And over here are my green beans, which are not doing well this year because they're in a brand new bed, and usually your first year in a bed doesn't do well, but I do have some green beans coming on. Just kind of slow this year. I have both purple and regular green beans. I grow Contender, and Royal Burgundy is the variety that I grow here. And the next bed here is eggplant and some peppers, and then climbing the trellis here on the corner is loofah gourd, and then cantaloupe over here. I have Sharon Tay. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It is a French kind. And then over here is Golden Jenny. I think that's the name of it. I think, but I'm not positive. And then we have some not jalapenos, poblanos, and then a bell pepper, 2 poblanos and a bell pepper. And then down here, I'm growing for the first time this year, are eggplant, and they're doing wonderfully. I'm really, really happy with these. I have eggplants all over on all of the plants. It's just doing really, really well. I'm real happy with those. And then the next bed also has loofah growing up, and it has grown all the way up to the top of the trellis, which I wanted to do. I wanted to go all the way up and around so that as you're walking through the trellis, you've got a tunnel. And then we have bell peppers here, and the peppers are doing really well this year. I've got peppers on every single plant. I don't know if you can see them. But they're doing really well. Real happy with those. And then back in the back here, we have some more, we had a wasp is what we had. We have some more poblanos. They're just starting to flower. And then back in here we have this bed is doing really well. This is cantaloupe, and this is Harvest Gold, I think the name of it is. And it's going to grow all the way up to TP. And then around here, these are my blackberries. I'm not going to have a good blackberry year. Not a lot of flowers, and the blackberries dry up after the flowers stop flowering. But I do have some started here, as you can see. I have bird netting on these so that the birds won't get them as they ripen. And then down here, I mixed in some snapdragons, and they're doing really, really well. My plan for this bed is, as you can see, I'm just letting the blackberries spread, and they will just spread and take over this entire bed, and that's what I want. So next year I probably won't plant anything in here except for the blackberries. But aren't those snapdragons just gorgeous? Just so pretty. I've cut some and have them in a vase in my house for cut flowers. Well, let's go back here. This is my herb bed, and we have Mexican mint, and we have anise, which is starting to flower. I've never grown anise before, but I thought, what the heck. And we have dill. The dill I grow for these swallowtail butterflies to lay their larvae on, and I've not had a single one this year. I don't know what's going on. And then over here is some marjoram. And then in the middle here that's oregano. Back behind the dill, I planted, this is, well, I've forgotten my first plant. This for the monarchs. Oh, milkweed. This is milkweed, and it's blooming. I have several here. Hopefully the monarchs will like it. Swallowtail's not doing anything with the dill, and the dill's getting ready to flower, as you can see. It's just getting ready to flower. All right, and then over here, this big bushy thing is my asparagus bed. This is the fifth year for it, I'm sorry. Year number 5. And I harvested quite a bit off of this. Really, really happy with my asparagus bed. But now it's time for just to let it grow and fern out, and that will produce food for next year. And then let's go down here to these beds. This is just a flower bed. I had hollyhocks, and that's the last of the hollyhocks growing there. Real pretty. Hollyhocks do not like the humidity, so you see these spots all over the leaves. That is rust, unfortunately. Maybe next year I'll be able to get some more hollyhocks. These are the only ones that bloomed this year. But they are very pretty. These are called, I want to say night watchmen, but I'm not sure. I think they're called night watchmen, I think. And then I have planted some, these are Shasta daisies that I started from seed. They probably will not bloom this year. They'll bloom next year. And then some more snapdragons that I had left over. And back in here, in the center here, is some zinnias that are coming up. This purple is called Moldavian Dragonhead Balm, and it's very, very pretty, gorgeous purple color. It's going to get ready to phase out though because it doesn't like Texas heat, but it's a very pretty spring flower. And underneath here, if I can move this, is a Coreopsis that I planted by seed, and hopefully I'll get to see that flower. Behind it, right there, is a red salvia. I planted several seeds, and that's the only one that came up. So I'm happy with that. And then I have another, this one's doing much better. This is a Mexican sunflower, and it will get very big and have velvety red flowers all over it that the hummingbirds just love. And back around the corner here, I also have some more zinnias. I'm waiting for them to bloom. This back in here is a chrysanthemum, a mum, that I bought last year and had out front in a planter, and it made it through the winter, so I just put it in there just to have a place to put it. All right, that's my flower bed. It's not as impressive as I've had in years past, but it'll do. The next bed, well, let's go around here. These are my basils. I just love basil. I love the smell of it. And we have lemon basil, and we have regular Genovese basil. And this is called grape basil. It's a dwarf kind of basil. And then some more lemon basil. And down on the bottom here is what we call opal purple basil. So those are my basils. This is my calendula bed. I grow calendula for skincare products that I use to sell in my Etsy shop. I make a calendula salve that's very, very good for minor irritations of the skin, minor burns, bug bites. It soothes the itch of a bug bite. I have a lot of customers swear by it. It's a very, very calming salve. And then this big monstrosity here is my chamomile, which I use for tea, and I also make soap with it. I do a chamomile tea soap where I brew the chamomile tea and use that as the water part of the lye solution. And then I also infuse the chamomile into the olive oil of the soap, so that you have a double infusion of chamomile in your soap. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous soap. I have a few left. We'll be making more this summer. I just felt like I got bit. Probably got bit by a fly. And the very last bed is more calendula. These came up as volunteers from last year. And I'm not doing much with this bed. I have my garlic in this bed, but this bed is falling apart, so in the fall it's going to get ripped up and we're going to redo a new bed. This is my purple blue, crystal blue salvia, starting to, so pretty, so pretty, starting to bloom. I love this one. And then these were my bags that I have my potatoes in. I have one left potato that I need to dig up, but I'm waiting for the potato to die back. You want to make them all die back before you dig them up. That way you'll have plenty of potatoes. And that is the end of the tour of my garden. It's a very nice garden. doing well this year. I don't think I've had more than 1 or 2 disappointments. And I would say the blackberries are going to be a disappointment because I'm not going to have as many as I had last year. And then the green beans are not doing as well as I had hoped they would. And green beans are easier to grow, but when you have a new bed, the nutrients aren't quite right. I have added nutrients to this, and hopefully I can pull it through. Back in the back of the yard here, you'll see 2 clumps of flowers. That is wild lantana, and the butterflies and the bees love it. Let's walk out there and I'll show you that real quick. And then I'll say goodbye. Trying not to step in the anthills as I go. And there you go. The bees and the butterflies just love lantana. All right, that's everything in my garden. And I want to thank you for watching. And please like. Give me a comment. Let me know. Oh, I forgot one. I'm sorry. This is my bed of cosmos. And I've also planted some, see the cosmos there? I also planted some zinnias, so hopefully I'll have some zinnias later on. The cosmos is starting to go away. Anyway, that's everything, and thanks for watching. Please come back again when we'll do some other videos of soap making and other interesting things that I do on my homestead. Thanks, bye-bye.